Hey, what's up, you guys? Honestly, I recorded this intro like way too many times, but what's up? It's time for a brand new review for Marvel's What If Episode 2. This week, Marvel dropped their second episode, and it's titled What If T'Challa Became Star-Lord? Pretty much, I'm just going to go over the voice actors that came back to reprise their roles for this episode. So, in this episode, we get Chadwick Boseman. We get Chadwick Boseman as Star-Lord. Karen Gilligan is coming back to voice Nebula. Michael Rooker is Yondu. And then at the end, we get a little surprise cameo from the voice acting cameo from Chris Pratt as Star Lord and Kurt Russell as Ego the Living Planet. So let's just jump into the review. I'm just going to pretty much go over what happened and what I thought was pretty cool. T'Challa is Star Lord in this episode. So instead of Chris Pratt's character becoming Star Lord, it's T'Challa. So in the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie, we open up with Chris Pratt's Star Lord getting the Power Stone and having a difficult time doing it, you know. But Star Lord starts out with grabbing the stone with Wakandan tech, or not. Maybe it's not Wakandan tech. I think it's Wakandan tech, but took him when he was a kid, so there's probably no way he can get Wakandan tech. I'm just thinking out loud right now. But he had some type of technology, right, that made it easier for him to grab the Power Stone a lot quicker than Peter Quill did. Um, as soon as he grabs the Power Stone, the Ravagers come in like ambush where the Power Stone's at because I guess they were looking for it too. And in this version or this universe, they actually know who Star Lord is, which is like a joke and like callback to Guardians of the Galaxy, where the Ravagers didn't actually know who Star Lord was. So that was pretty funny. That was something I thought was funny. And then it cuts to like the past, how we get T'Challa up in space, and we see him in Wakanda as like a young kid. He's really adventurous, and then he goes past like the invisible border that Wakanda has that separates them from the world, and he gets abducted by this spaceship. They were actually supposed to get Star Lord, but Yondu sent his Ravager team to just go grab a kid, and I guess he had like an abnormal like energy level or something like some Dragon Ball Z shit, right? And they thought that he was Peter Quill, so they grabbed him. The Ravagers grabbed him, and then when they brought him back to Yondu, Yondu was like, "You guys got the wrong kid," but they just left with him anyway. And I was just thinking like, it's you guys traveled from space to get this kid. You got the wrong kid. You don't think it's that hard to just go like like across the planet or like to get the right kid? But anyway, this is What If. This is a Marvel different universe, so I guess anything's possible. So then it jumps back into the future, and then we see T'Challa as Star Lord, just celebrating that he got the Power Stone, and then he goes to like this bar, and we find out that Thanos is actually part of the Ravengers too, which is really crazy. The Ravengers, or someone in the Ravengers, I forgot who, but pretty much talked Thanos out of like world genocide. So that was pretty funny. So in this universe, Thanos got talked out of wiping out half of the universe, and now he's a good guy working for the Ravengers while he's on their team. So that was pretty cool. Um, Drax's wife and daughter are alive in this universe too. So T'Challa goes to the bar that they're all just hanging out with, and then he talks to Drax. Drax is the bartender at the bar, and then he mentions like Star Lord's popularity. Like, oh my god, like you're Star Lord, you're Star Lord. Let me take a picture for my wife and daughter. And then it's just like, what? Like your wife and daughter are supposed to be dead, bro. Like they're alive in this universe. That's hella cool, you know? So he takes a picture with Star Lord, and he calls Star Lord ugly, which was pretty funny. And he sends the picture to his wife and kids. So we're in a completely different universe. Like this is totally not from the sacred timeline. So we learned that Wakanda got destroyed when they're all just drinking and just bullshitting and stuff. It's brought up that Wakanda is destroyed, so that's why he was never able to go back. Nebula pulls up out of nowhere, and she's like looking hella fine for like a cartoon robot girl, compared to her in the movies. And Karen Gilligan just sounds hella hot. So that was pretty cool to see Nebula looking all pretty and shit. And she comes up to them with a heist. She wants Star-Lord and the Ravengers to collect this cosmic dust that's able to terraform planets. And it's pretty cool because if What If, I'm going to get into like a little speculation theory thing right here. Because if What If is supposed to be canon to the MCU, it's pretty cool that they're bringing up this cosmic dust, because in the comics, this cosmic dust is used by the Council of Reeds to go to different universes and terraform the planets to make barren universes, like empty planets, empty universes, that have nothing, into universes that are thriving, that have food, water, like a whole, like planets of corn, planets of food, right? That they can give to other universes that are, essentially have nothing. So that's pretty cool that they're bringing this up, because later on in the future we might see this idea being brought back again when the Fantastic Four is introduced. So just something to pay attention to. So Nebula recruits the Ravengers and Star-Lord because she wants to get this cosmic dust. The Collector has it. The Collector has this cosmic dust, and it's, remember the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2? Or 1 or 2? Oh, I don't know. He's in the Marvel movies. You've seen the Collector, right? So he has all this shit. When they pretty much, it just jumps into the scene of them, like, just going to fuck it up. And we find out that the Black Order is actually working with the Collector, and the Black Order is guarding the facility that the Cosmic Embers are at. So, we get Star-Lord. They split up into two teams. Star-Lord goes by himself to try to look for the Cosmic Embers, and then Nebula and the Ravengers are doing some other shit, right? We see that Howard the Duck is in there, so Star-Lord breaks Howard the Duck out, and then Howard the Duck becomes Star-Lord's guide throughout the Collector's vast collection, and it's pretty cool. It looks like the Harry Potter Prophecy Room, but like a lot more colors, so it was more eye candy. During their search, Star-Lord, the Wakandan necklace that he has as a kid, it activates a Wakandan spaceship that the Collector actually had, and T'Challa learns that his dad was looking for him, and he goes and confronts Yondu and Nebula. He goes and confronts Yondu and Nebula because he feels like they both knew about it. Nebula didn't find out about it, but Yondu knew. And they lied to him about Wakanda being destroyed, and he just obviously got hella mad. Like, what the hell? Like, what? Like, you guys lied to me about all this shit? Like, my family was alive? You can't do that to me. You can't do that to somebody and just kidnap me, essentially. Like, dude, like, your psyche would fucking break. But anyway, that's what fucking happened. The Collector captures all of them in the fucking heat of the moment because they're fucking slipping. And we find out, actually, it's because they're not slipping. It's because Nebula double crossed them. Nebula has a debt she has to pay with the Collectors, so she offered him Star-Lord. The Collector wants T'Challa dissected at this point. So once he gets Star-Lord, he's confronting him, like saying, what kind of powers do you have? Are you of interest to me? And he's not. So he just wants to dissect him so he can save the space for something better. Right before that happens, though, Nebula triple crosses the Collector, and we find out that Nebula and T'Challa were in on this triple cross scheme where it was going to be like, all right, Nebula's double crossing them, but really Nebula's double crossing the Collector, and it was pretty cool. That was like a cool little surprise. I didn't expect that to happen. All right, so I got a little bit of things mixed up, but pretty much we end up with a fight with Collector versus Star-Lord. So the Collector and Star-Lord are just fucking each other up. The Collector is using hella shit that he's collected throughout the years. He has Dark Elves knives. He has Hela's head cap. He uses all that shit. And they're fighting in like the prophecy room that looks like the prophecy room from Harry Potter, but it's the Collector's room. While this is happening, we cut to Team 2, and we see Thanos and Nebula have an actual moment where Thanos is telling Nebula to just run off, just go on without him while they're being chased out of the Collector's building or whatever the hell you call it. Nebula ends up coming back to save him. And then we jump back to Star-Lord and Thanos. No, sorry. Star-Lord and the Collector fighting. Yondu comes and helps Star-Lord defeat the Collector. They do this by ripping his glove off of his hand so he can't like call his weapons from his collection. And then they end up trapping him in one of the cages that he used to trap T'Challa in. So it was pretty cool, a little ironic, They escape with the Cosmic Embers, and then it pretty much just ends with them all linking up at the rendezvous point, hella juiced, and it ends with all of them linking up at the rendezvous point, pretty juiced, and then T'Challa decides that he wants to go back to Earth and see his family. So then there's this big reunion with his family and whatnot, and it's pretty happy. And then it ends. And that's all we get from Chadwick Boseman. That's it, because Chadwick Boseman is dead. So at first, I was just like, I didn't understand the hype around this, because it's just I don't take death that serious. So it's just like I don't understand the hype around it. But after watching this, it made me sad, and I'm just like, damn, T'Challa's really gone. Chadwick Boseman's really dead. We're never gonna see Black Panther again. So it was nice to hear his voice. He wasn't the best voice actor. There's way better voice actors. It just kind of sounded he was like excited to get into the booth. Some people said he sounded a little sick. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I didn't really hear it. It kind of just sounded like he was really excited. But overall, it was a nice tribute to Chadwick Boseman. It wasn't really even like a tribute. It was just nice, to see him do a little bit more work as Black Panther, because we know we're not going to get him as Black Panther ever again. Overall, I would rate this episode 10 out of 10. It was really fun to watch. Like, the heist concept of the episode was cool. It kept the story going. There was no slow parts in the story. It kept jumping to the next thing. And honestly, I'd watch it again. It's something that you could totally rewatch. Like, this is something that I'll put on and rewatch. It's way easier to watch than the movies. This was my review. I'm super tired, but I had to get this out. I promise that I'll try to drop these more after. Well, I promise that I'll try to drop them like the day after they come out. So thanks for watching. If you guys like this, leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about the episode in the comments down below. And I'll catch you guys next week for episode 3.